Welcome again, guys, to one of the most interesting videos and fun videos that I love to do. This is a new car reveal, and this one is pretty cool for a different reason. You know, it's not fast, it's not particularly valuable, it's not even anything special, but I really like this thing. This is a JE Camira. Now, a lot of the older boys that are watching this channel or are familiar with these cars, I'm sure immediately have a negative reaction to this car. These are famously unreliable, poor things. There was a lot of stuff about these cars which Holden didn't get quite right. However, this is a JE, so it's one of the very, very last ones. By this time, Holden had really gotten a lot of the little niggles sorted. No, it's not perfect, you know, I'm not crazy, but by this time they really had. Unfortunately, the Camira name was already in the mud. These really didn't sell very well. They weren't cheap either. Holden had already destroyed its own name because of the running gear of some of the earlier Camiras. Now, I will say there are an exception. Some of the Camiras, you know, similar to a Captiva and all those other things, some of them are halo models. Some of them have defied logic and are awesome runners. This particular car is an awesome runner. It is a very original survivor car. It's got little stone chips and all that kind of stuff. It has no major damage to the body and paint whatsoever, which is frankly unbelievable because these cars have been worth very little for a long time and very easily written off, either mechanically, any minor panel damage, it's garbage. This one has slipped through the cracks and survived. It is a base model. I don't think it gets much more base model than that, although like some of the other cars I've had on the channel, like my own VY Tonner, there is a cult following for these cars. I'm sure it is going to be popular, this thing. They're a bit forgotten about, and I like those cars because, you know, look, we paid very little money for this. This is not a big dollar car, and I have not bought this to be a reliable form of transport. I have bought it because I think it's cool. It deserves to be saved rather than crushed. It's a piece of Australian history. And as we walk around here, it really isn't that bad. There are little marks here and there, you know, but other than giving something like that a little wipe over, I'm not really going to bother with doing anything. The only thing that we're probably going to do to this car, other than fix it underneath, of course, and any servicing, all that stuff, of course, but the only thing that we might do in terms of appearance is give those wheels a lick of paint. But other than that, it's pretty good, guys. Everything is where it should be. It needs a buff. There was one thing, though, that the Camira, like its VL mother and sister, failed on, and that is rust in the rear windscreen. So that is one thing that this car needs, and I want to get that fixed. I think this car deserves it. There is not many good Camiras left, guys. And even though this thing has its imperfections, it is a survivor, it is an honest car, it's cool. I really like it. I mean, have a look at it. It really, you know, there's a few dings at the bottom of the driver's door, as you can probably see just there. And if we have another walk through to the interior, I mean, all the chrome is fantastic. Sorry guys, Deacon from the future here. The audio just cut out, so I just wanted to show you guys the interior. There is our 5-speed manual, our steering wheel. You can see on the cluster there, it's a little bit dark, but we have a little clock. It's in pretty good nick, honestly. Very, very clean, especially back there. The seats are really good. Headlining is fantastic. Not a bad thing at all. Sorry about that, guys. Me that this is probably owned by some elderly. It's got all its books. Honestly, it's a great thing. We'll take it for a drive in a second. The only thing I don't like that has been done is someone has screwed some speakers into the door cards, but that was the thing to do. And it's got an aftermarket head unit. I'll show you guys in the engine bay as well. So this engine is actually quite important to the Holden story. Now, Holden was in a bit of financial trouble in the late 80s and stuff, and we managed to produce this. This is the GM Family 2 motor. It's also the same engine that was in that 4-cylinder VN that I had on the channel. This actually is not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's amazing, you know, it's no Camry, it's no RB30. It's really not that bad though. And I know that some people will say that I'm crazy because of that, but guys, honestly, these are not that bad. They're not the same issue that some of the earlier Camiras had. I also think that the styling, particularly the front end, well, really only the front end, is awesome. It's like a little mini VL Commodore. And you know, we've even got genuine Holden headlights and all of this kind of stuff. It's a cool thing, guys. And again, this car's not, you know, the paint's very dull. I think with a buff polish, just a bit of love and attention, that this car is going to come up really, really good. It's really interesting, this car, because I have done a video on a Camira SLE, so the absolute top spec, and this is the base model, but a top spec one, and that got more love and attention than some of the Brockies and HSVs that I've done that are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that is because very few, there would have to be an extraordinary limited amount of people that have cared for a Camira. Honestly, it would be so few. It genuinely would be such a small number that these cars are rare. Now, don't get it confused. I'm not saying it's valuable, but it doesn't have to be. You know, not everything is about money. Sometimes it is about seeing a car like this in awesome original condition. Actually, I haven't even looked in the boot, so we'll do that together. I know there are some parts in there, I think the previous owner said, but it is a cool thing. We've got our sticker. In terms of what do I want to do with this car? Well, nothing. Well, that's not completely true. I want to fix up anything that's wrong with it, fix up brakes, you know, suspension, that kind of stuff. Okay, wow, we have lots of spares. All right, there's lots of stuff in here. So we got suspension stuff, belts, some center caps. That's cool. I didn't know that we had that. Look how small those rotors are. You know, it's funny because cars like this now, these were once upon a time, and I'm sure that, I feel guilty saying it, but they were just garbage. They were throwaway cars. And because of that, things are starting to change a little bit, and we're starting to appreciate how lucky we really were that we were making stuff like this at all. The engines are particularly interesting because the GM2 motor, we built those in Port Melbourne, I believe, and they shipped them all over the world in different GM vehicles, and they really saved Holden. So they weren't a terrible thing, so I think it's really cool. Anyway, we'll jump inside, we'll take it for a quick spin. I think you guys will like it. It's pretty smooth. I don't think the aircon works, but other than that, it's looking pretty good. All right, now we are in the Camira, and listen to this, guys. This car genuinely runs fantastic. One of the little quirks that I've noticed is if we have a look on the dash here, the 6 is actually covered. There we go, you can kind of see. The 6 is actually covered. It needs to go up, which is quite funny. We've got a clock on there. Put my seatbelt on. I'm not sure if the radio works. The aircon definitely doesn't work. It's a little bit warm today. But if you have a look around here, everything is in good nick. We've got our handbrake boots in good nick. The shifter, I really like this. It kind of feels like a little squashed VL. Sorry about. So one of the things that's a bit challenging about this car. So no power steering. The clutch is really different too. It's not what I am used to at all. It bites really low. So as soon as you start to move it, you're moving. I really like this car, and I know a lot of people will be laughing at me, but I don't really care. I think it is, it's cool. A lot of people say that they go pretty well. Now, I'm not really going to be testing that. These cars are are quite rare now because so many of them are gone. And if I break anything, I don't know if I'll ever get stuff again. I mean, it's very difficult to find that stuff. Again, I'm not going to beat on it hard, but honestly, guys, it actually goes all right. It really does. Like, considering it's a lot faster than you'd expect. Again, it's not fast, but it runs and drives pretty damn good, if I'm completely honest. The other thing that's weird is that it's got a collar, so you lift the collar to go into reverse. Now, if we look back in the context of these things, I can understand why maybe they were not as popular compared to the Commodore. You know, the VL is a fantastic car and frankly much more reliable than one of these, but through the kindness of time, I think that these are going to carve out their own little community, and people like them because they look like VLs. Poor old things. But this will be one of those cars that you take to a car meet and people go, oh, I haven't seen one of those for years. I mean, this one drives honestly unreal. Hope you guys enjoyed this little taste of the Camira, and what would you guys do with this car if it was yours? I think it's cool. I like it. It's something really different, something that I've never had before, and a lot of people, I don't know what to say. It'll just be interesting to see what the comments are. And I bought it a while ago, but we've only just picked it up today, so I'll probably do minimal editing and just bang this video straight up. But I wanted to see what you guys thought. It's a cool thing. There'll definitely be more videos on this car in the future. And if I was going to a meet or something, you know, I probably wouldn't mind taking something like this because it just has a good survivor story. Thank you guys for watching, liking, subscribing. Keep following along. We're going to keep saving more and more cars. You know, we're really chipping away at them now, so I think I'm excited. This car excites me, even though it's worth nothing. It's a cool thing.